listen. Lamelo Ball, MB1, the one of one. You already know what it is. He is doing everything in training camp right now, dominating, putting on a virtuoso, showing his playmaking ability, his leadership. We all know his shot making ability. LaMelo Ball ain't playing no games. This man is driven. He is poised and positioned to bring the Charlotte Hornets, the Queen City, to the NBA playoffs. You better book it right now. You heard it here first at Flight Sports. Now it's going to be an uphill battle, but we're going to get multiple perspectives on this situation. We got a couple of days out. We got preseason basketball coming fast, fast, fast. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports so you don't miss 1 second of coverage when they tip off against the Miami Heat. They got a big game opening night against the Atlanta Hawks. Let's not move too fast. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. We got to definitely get into it. I got my man All Access Dex in the building. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. Pay the utmost homage. Dex, man, break it down, man. What the hell is going on?
Well, Flight, there is a new dispensation in Charlotte, North Carolina, aka North Kakalaki. And Steve Clifford, the current coach of the Charlotte Hornets, has been enthralled in the development of the young players coming through the vicissitude of the Charlotte Hornets developmental system. Listen, Cliffy and LaMelo LaFrance Ball been in conversations constantly to come up with a scheme that involves Miles Bridges and Brandon Miller on the court at the same time for a protracted period during the course of the season. Now, we know Miles Bridges is not going to be available for preseason and training camp, but when his suspension is up, this is what LaMelo Ball wants to showcase on the floor, and he is petitioning for this through the course of the season. Now, will they grant his wishes? I don't know, because we don't see LiAngelo Ball in uniform, so I don't know how much they're going to adhere to the demands of LaMelo Ball as far as scheming and designing new and fresh, innovative ways to keep Charlotte afloat and competitive. LaMelo Ball is out there. He's showing that he's worth every cent of that $260 million contract he just received in the offseason. And I'm telling you, the owners, Gabe and Rick, are excited to see LaMelo Ball pairing with Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges when he comes off of that suspension. Terry Rozier has been vocal. Gordon Hayward. Can you imagine Gordon Hayward buying in to what is going on in Charlotte right now? I don't know how long this will last. Maybe he's trying to develop a better attitude so he could be a suitor in a trade coming up in the season, maybe at the All-Star break. I don't know. But Gordon Hayward, he's not going to be disruptive. He has willingly and has accepted the change of the guard between him and LaMelo Ball. He understands LaMelo Ball's youthness, his athleticism, and his IQ on the court has garnered him leadership of the new version of the Charlotte Hornets. So there's a lot of youth going on. This youth movement looking strong and promising. They're moving away from all the goofballs and corny antics coming from some of these players. They're looking and they're going to accept nothing but the best from this young core moving forward, right? And as LaMelo Ball doing the magnificent things that he is doing in training camp, getting everybody involved, letting them know this is a family atmosphere, and he is championship driven to create a culture that matches his attitude and aptitude. Like,
Yes, absolutely. I definitely want to get into one more thing with you here. The Lamelo Ball has improved his game every year he has been in the league. His rookie season, he averaged 15 points per game. His second year, 20. Obviously, the last year he averaged 23 points per game, shooting 41%, 37% from three. Also, 8 assists. Where do you see the trajectory this year, Dex? Obviously, we're going to see improvements because it's happened every single year. Where does he take his game this year? Is it 25 points, 28? What are we talking?
Well, like I think Lamelo Ball can average between 24 and 29 points per game based on the other remnants that's coming along with LaMelo Ball on this journey to try to make the Charlotte Hornets relevant again. And when I mean relevant again, I mean Kemba Walker Charlotte Hornets version relevant again, being a real playoff team, not a play-in team trying to get into the playoffs. But that will be the least that we will accept from the Charlotte Hornets to get into a play in and then move forward. So it is incumbent on Cliffy and Mitty, talking Mitch Kupchak, to bring a solid kind of atmosphere that will continue this championship driven culture in the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Rome was not built overnight, so we can't expect Charlotte Hornet to be this glorified team overnight, even though they have the prize of the 2020 draft in LaMelo LaFrance Ball. So I'm not going to say be patient, but I'm going to say be understanding as they move forward and trying to encaunch themselves in the conversation of all the rest of the competitive teams in the NBA flight.
Right. Well, I'm gonna ask you the $1 million question. I'm gonna be asking pretty much people all season long. What are the Charlotte Hornets gonna be able to make the postseason this year? How do you feel? How do you feel their chances are to make it? Part of me.
Well, Charlotte making the postseason is it's a feasible task. It's not very difficult because I believe some of the Eastern Conference teams is going to fall down, like the Toronto Raptors, the Chicago Bulls, the Brooklyn Nets. Some of these teams that had made it in a far distance in the playoffs might not be there this season. I think there's going to be a falling away from six on down, and everybody's going to be scrapping for the remaining scraps of the playoff because you got the Boston Celtics, you got the Milwaukee Bucks, you got Philadelphia 76ers, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, you got the New York Knicks, you got the Atlanta Hawks. So those are six solid teams that you can pencil in for playoff contention, and the seeding will vary. And then the rest of the four slots remaining is going to be a dogfight. Like it's going to be a serious, combative dogfight to secure one of those last four slots to make it into the Eastern Conference extended season flight.
Absolutely, man. Make sure you subscribe to Play Sports TV for more news, updates, and more.